Our next presenter is Izza Masud, and Izza is an entrepreneur, a project manager, author, marketer. She's currently focused on two projects, both in the realm of marketing and customer experience. She joined Toastmasters in 2016 to improve her public speaking, and her home club is Riverside, Ottawa. She's currently serving as Division B Director. And let's all welcome Izza to talk today about Google My Business.
Yay. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. How are you feeling today? Are you guys happy to be here? I hope so.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jonathan. Aren't you supposed to be doing this in January? I have a feeling it's coming up, Jonathan.
Sooner.
Awesome. So let me see all of your faces. Actually, let's start with that. Yes. Now I'm going to, somebody's going to help me in chat. And of course, I always call out on Daniel. So Daniel will be my chat buddy. And he's going to call out all of the questions and everything. Also, to tell you, Daniel is our current PRM. So thank you very much for letting me swap. Okay, so let me see by show of hands, okay? How many people have heard of Google My Business? All right, yeah, Jonathan, you heard it because you have to do something, okay? Rosa, Daniel, who else? You know, I need to see more people, so yes, anybody? Eric, you better have heard of it. You were in my, okay. How many people currently have a Google My Business for their club?
I think we do.
1, 2, hey, 3, okay. I have to scroll through your faces, that's why. All right. This is probably one of the most important tools, and we'll go through the tool. And I want to reiterate this. It's because this is a direct feed into the Google search engine, okay? So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen, and I will try and be as interactive as possible. And you can stop me within my presentation to ask your question, and we will actually go through an exercise of creating a listing, okay? All right. Perfect. Share my screen. Okay. And I'm going to do present. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Is it in present mode?
It's perfect.
Awesome. Okay. So, what are the goals of this workshop? What's a Google My Business listing? So essential information, optimizing your listing, and growing your club. It says business, and you can totally use this for your business as well. So if you're an entrepreneur, go for it. So again, why is it important to have a listing? What is a Google My Business listing? I'm going to stop sharing now. And I'm going to get you guys, have you ever seen a Google My Business listing? Show of hands. No? Yes, you have, Richard. I see you shaking your head. You're like, what? What's that? All right. Google something. So anything that you Google, anything at all, like for example, shoes, as Amy had pointed out, her brown shoes. So if you do a search for brown shoes, on the side of the page of Google, you will see where this store is and what the rating is. So you will see, as you see on this screen, where this page is. You see on, can you guys see my mouse?
Yes.
Okay, so when you Google anything, this is the listing we're talking about. So if you do not have a Google My Listing for your club, this is what we're building today. So when somebody Googles Toastmasters, they're not going to Google that, but they're going to Google public speaking. This is what Google will bring to them. So what we're trying to do is to ensure Google knows about your club. Okay, that's our main goal. And this feeds right in. So the listing provides people with your information, like your business hours, your contact, events, and it's directly fed into the search engine. So that means that Google does not have to go to like places like Facebook or Eventbrite. Google has this information and it brings it up in seconds. And this is what we want, right? And guess what? All of us, how many, okay. How many people read recommendations or, you know, research a company before they come? Yeah. I see. All of you do. All of y'all do. Even before the hairdresser. Did that hairdresser give like bad haircuts? We all know that, right? So that information is what consumers, what users, what people looking for public speaking are looking for. If somebody likes you, who you are, all of that is available right there for somebody. So very, very important to have that information readily available. Let me see, and Daniel, can you just count for me? How many of you have a Google Gmail account for your club? For your club?
We do.
Okay. Just count them.
I see 7, 8 people though.
Yeah, just 7, 8 people? Okay.
Yeah.
To begin with, we just have to make sure that all of you need a Gmail account for this particular service for your club. Okay. So if you do not have a Gmail account for your club, the first ingredient for this is that you need to get a Gmail account for your club. So for our club, as Jonathan would know, we have Riverside Toastmasters Ottawa at gmail.com. So if you do not have one, please get one. They are free. And that is the first ingredient. Share my screen again. You will see my face and me reiterating because I want to see your faces too. So essential information that you need on hand is your hours of operation, who the contact information is, the business category, we will talk about that, and make sure that all information is consistent and complete. And I will, okay. So when you create the listing, which we will, okay, you will see that you have to have your name, which you all do. Your clubs have a name, an address. It can be online as well. So Google recognizes that a lot of businesses are online, so you can actually make it online. Hours of operation, your phone number, and of course, your club website. All of these are important information. So have them handy before you're actually about to create your listing and continue on with that. Okay. So in order for us to optimize it, we're going to be adding a description of the club, and we're going to do it in a savvy way with using really, really smart words, because you're all Toastmasters and you have colorful, beautiful language to attract your audience. And ensuring that the category is good. Public speaking is one, and even self-improvement. So leadership as well. These are all categories that you could probably fall under. So now they talk about professional photos, but it would be very, very useful to have photos of your club. So who are the members of your club and what are they doing? And having basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to tell a story, right? We're trying to sell the club. We're trying to sell a story about the club. And we're going to be capturing fun moments in the club and amazing things that you want to do, that you do already in the club. Capture some pictures. Now we are all online. This is the easiest way, and I'm sure all of you take a picture at the end of your meeting. That is one of them, but it would be fun to have some of your old pictures, if you have them, showing somebody standing up, somebody doing a speech. So all of those photos help. They help create your profile on Google. So they talk about services and we talk about leadership. And here, I believe you could actually put in pathways information as well. So adding the pathways that you offer would be actually very, very useful for your Google listing. Okay. All right, who's with me so far? Daniel, you get to gauge the audience. You get to scroll through, and I need a show of hands to see how people are articulating what I'm saying.
Looks all good.
All good? Everybody's
If
with
you
me?
have any questions, you can drop them in the chat and I'll ask for you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So with any listing, as Amy had mentioned before, we need to be very, very active with answering and being prompt. People like prompt. So announcing things or at least answering people's questions is one way that not only, of course, users or customers or your potential members will know how prompt you are. Google itself rates you on your promptness. So Google has a hidden way of to be relevant. So for your category to be relevant, Google rates you on your promptness, on how fresh your content is, and how often you answer questions. Even if somebody's disgruntled, Google wants to see that you actually address it, and you get actually points for being prompt. So make sure that your listing, as you work through it, if somebody asks a question, somebody leaves a comment, that you actually interact and get on with it to answer it. Asking members to leave reviews and respond to all of the reviews. This is as I was saying, it's very, very important. It shows Google that you are right there. It actually brings the quality of your club in Google's eyes. It brings it up. So what our goal with this listing is that when somebody does public speaking, your club should be there number 1 or number 2, the top 10. That's what we want. Okay, time for a demo. All right. Okay, who's with me so far? Everybody with me? Yes, okay. I am seeing you. I got my eyes on you guys. All right. Okay. We're going to create a Google My Business listing. And I'm going to give you 1 minute. If somebody wants to do a listing with me for their club, to open your Gmail account now and put it on the side and start to create a listing. I'm going to give you like a minute to open your accounts. In the meanwhile, I will open my own account. Okay. All right.
Izza, I believe it would be possible for someone to create a completely fake account just for testing to see how it actually works. Maybe before actually creating the real listing, isn't it?
Yeah, they can create a fake account. They can actually, if they want to create, you have to remember, that's a very good point. Thank you, Daniel. If you want to create a fake listing with me, just to do a test listing, just to understand how to do it, you can actually all go, if you all have a Gmail account. It can be done on your personal accounts too, just like a fake listing. So definitely good idea, Daniel. Basically, it's a workshop, guys. I want you guys interacting and trying to be able to do. And as we go through it, you can ask questions. The important part is to actually do, like, you know, in a real workshop, you guys would be actually doing something. So in a real workshop, as in person, not that it's not a real workshop, guys. Okay. I am ready. Are you guys ready? You are ready? Okay, I'm going to now share my screen again. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's good. We see your businesses.
Yes, okay. So this is my Gmail account. And you guys see all the Google apps. Can you see the Google apps? I'm hovering over those. Can everybody see those? So when you hover right beside your picture in Gmail, this is where you actually see Google My Business. So you will see Google My Business as one of the applications as part of it. So when you click on it, it brings you to, see, I'm clicking. It's going to bring me to my categories. Okay, everybody with me so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, perfect.
Do we need to sign in to Google My Business? Because mine is just on the front page. Like, I don't have an account.
Okay, yes, you do need to sign into Google My Business. Thank you, Rosa. Very important. Very important step. So you will see the applications here. These are all the applications, standard applications that we all get with, and Google My Business is one of the applications. You will need to sign in to Google My Business if you are doing it for the first time. Okay. With me so far? All right. So I'm going to start by adding a business. So first things first, we all have to figure out, are we actually on Google? Sometimes there might have been some VPPR who was so savvy and amazing and made a listing for you and you don't even know about it. So the first things first, and you Google yourself and get to type to see. So let's say I say, I'll make a fake Toastmasters. It's not a good name for a club though, let me tell you. Branding is very terrible. Okay, so it did not find an account, and it recommended that by itself, knowing that we should just make a listing for this account. Okay. So business name is Toastmasters Club. So let's look and see if we can find a category of leadership. Leadership. So as you see, as I'm typing, as I'm looking for a category, see, public speaking, it does not have a category.
No, I've been trying everything. There's no category.
Okay.
I believe you could find a category in education.
Yes, we could. Education center, education, education, obviously, institution, no. Doesn't really apply.
Not for profit?
Yes, well, the thing is, Gina, and this is we have to, because we're selling the club, it has to be a club. Or it has to understand what we're trying to sell, or what's it's trying to. If we do non-for-profit, it's very general. So we want so education. So let's say if we use what Daniel is suggesting, that we say education, we come within sort of close to center.
Why don't you try professional development or personal development? Would that work?
Okay, perfect. No, it does not work. So I think education is our best bet.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you could have multiple categories, and in any case, you can update later on.
Absolutely, you can update later on, and sometimes they actually allow to have a new category as well. We can talk about it, but let's pick a category to go into. You can have multiple categories, but you have to start with one. So I don't want to overwhelm people with multiple categories at the moment. Okay. So again, it's asked you. So do you want to add a location customers can visit? So depending on if you already had a location that you guys used. So this is a good topic to talk about. Some clubs use community centers and universities or wherever they were meeting. You cannot put that here because that belongs to the original company or original owner. So let's say if I was meeting at Riverside, Ottawa, Toastmasters were meeting at Heron Community Center. This is a real example. I could not add Heron Community Center here. And the reason is because we don't own the community center. So Google tries to only list physical geographical places if your business actually owns or it's solely for that business. Okay, if you understand what I'm saying. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? If you do not, ask a question, please.
But it requires something on that line, is that right?
Yeah, so let's do no. So what it does is when you do no, it just shows you geographically and it says, okay, which area. So what it's trying to really determine is what areas do you serve. So I would recommend if you, a lot of clubs are online as well, that you choose no, and you actually choose the area. So fake Toastmasters is Ottawa, Ontario. So you can actually do multiple. And let's say if I wanted to do Kingston. You see, all of those areas can come in. So let's see if I want to do Nepean. So you want to be as accurate geographically as possible. And if you're online, you can use the district so that we serve the district, and you can actually choose most of the areas within the district just to help it. Because if we go too general, Google doesn't like it. Okay, it will choose somebody who's actually more relevant. The way Google works is that when you search, it will look at your preferences, your areas, and things that are closest to you, that are relevant to you. Google is trying more and more to be locally relevant. So it will try and be local. So as much as you can, use this option. Okay. And try and be geographically relevant as much as possible. Next. Okay. Now this is a very, very interesting idea. For our club, we actually use a telephone number, and we use my telephone number. Now, you don't have to do that, but unless you're comfortable doing that, I was comfortable doing that. But what happens when somebody calls, looks for public speaking? Guess who gets most of the calls of the district? Me. And guess who directs them to the club that I want to direct them to? Mine. No, but too relevant. So if somebody is comfortable sharing the telephone number, I would highly recommend. And I will tell you that there's free telephone number services. And if you were to Google that, you can actually get free telephone numbers that is offered by Ontario. Ontario actually offers businesses free telephone numbers. So you can actually do that. So if you have not created one, you can always create an anonymous phone number for it that is only to be used for it. But I can give you more information on it if somebody wants to email me how to do that. But yes, if you use a phone number, guess what? People pick up the phone and they want immediate answers, because people want immediate answers. And I get many calls asking for information on Toastmasters, and we have landed lots and lots of new prospects and new members just by that. This alone, I'm giving you information of it's gold. Your current website, www.faketoastmasters.org or whatever. Okay. Are you guys with me so far? Okay, Paul, how am I doing for time?
You're doing pretty good. Let me give me 1 second here.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you have 32 minutes.
Brilliant. Okay.
Izza, I have a question. On the previous page,
Yes.
would you just put the phone number and the email, or one or the other?
No, or both. Both.
Both,
I
okay.
do multiple. You want multiple ways to connect with your customers.
Okay, thanks.
Phone number, email, URL, all of that. Whatever you want to add that. Okay. You guys with me so far? Yes. Okay, Rosie. I can see you because you're my favorite. So sure. All right.
I'm creating as we go, Izza.
Okay, awesome. And you guys stop me if you need something. Okay, ask the question. That's what we're here for. Enter your postal address. Okay, this is something to understand. Okay, read this. It will be hidden from the public. Okay, so what happens right now is Google has to verify that you are not fake Toastmasters. Basically, you're not a fraud. Okay. Google wants this responsibility because they want to filter out scammers. So they need some person to physically verify that, yes, all of this information was good. Yes, this, because they need their, CYA, cover your ass kind of. So you need to understand when you add your address, it will be hidden from the public. It will send you a postcard. Daniel, you don't happen to have a postcard handy, eh? No. Right?
No.
So they send you a postcard in your mail, in your physical mail, and there will be a little number on it, and that will be there to verify you. So that verification has to be done within, I think, within the month, or they give you like a month to verify this listing. Otherwise, there's an expiry date when they send you this postcard with a little number on it that you have to add to Google. And you might have to redo it if you don't do it in time. So keep an eye on your mail. When I fill this out, I can just use some old whatever email address and I will go. See? Or if you have not decided, you could verify it later, but I choose to verify it. Okay. Oh, country is okay. Here. Ontario. Okay. Okay. So I'm good to try and go back and say, I'm going to verify it later. It's because I don't want fake Toastmasters going to somebody's address. Okay. So are you guys with me so far? Is everybody with me? So you understand that you will have to provide a physical address where somebody can send you a postcard to just verify the listing. It is all it's doing. It's not going to share your address with anybody. It's just to make sure that you are responsible. Google wants to make somebody responsible for it. So really, really important to understand. Okay. So customize your services. And you can adult lessons, nursery, or so let's go into actually okay, so we could continue to add as many as we want. So here we're adding the hours. So let's say you have your meeting on Mondays and my meeting is at, I don't know, 6. And my meeting is from 6 till, I don't know. Well, 6 to 8. Okay, so I've just added my meeting hours. Is everybody with me so far? Yes, okay. Oh, 14, please provide a valid time, for example. Okay. Oh.
I think you have to remove that last entry.
Oh, yeah. Open at whatever and then close at whatever. Okay. So this is good because it's giving me the same hassle it's going to give you later on. And I thought I did, right? So open and closes at, I do add.
No, don't add another one. Remove the last one.
Yeah, just one sec. Okay. It doesn't give me the option of the close until I actually make that mistake for some reason. Let me see. Does it work?
You have two opening times, so just leave one and choose a closing time.
Yeah, but you see, it says closes at here, right? I'm just
click on close at, click on the hour.
Yeah.
Choose 8 or 9.
Yes.
Depends on your club.
Yeah.
And you're good. Don't click there. Click next.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Daniel. Awesome. It's been a while since I created my own listing. Is everybody good? Everybody's good?
Obviously, that's something you'll do just only once.
Yes, exactly. Or depending if your hours are changing, and hopefully they're not, but for your club, if you're changing. So add messaging. I will accept messages because I want people to be able to get to me as soon as possible. Okay, here we get to add a description. So an amazing set of public speakers who will help you become a superstar. I'm sure you will be a lot more amazing and succinct than this statement, but this is the bottom line. This is what we want people to understand. This part is very, very important. So think about it. And my recommendation for anybody is that have somebody who doesn't understand or doesn't know Toastmasters. Don't put in the usual. Get feedback from somebody who doesn't know and ask them, do you understand what the heck I just wrote, what I said? And it will be useful because people you don't know you. So be creative and be interesting, for God's sake, please. So add photos. So if you have already photos, so I'm just going to skip it. I don't have photos of fake Toastmasters. And so here it's offering you, and if you were a business, it's offering you direct, usually you can have a Google account, a Google Ads account. It will create one now if you actually want to advertise directly on Google. So I don't recommend it for clubs unless you're actually planning to advertise. And if at some point you think you want to advertise, you can always create another Google Ads account that's associated with this. Okay. Your business profile is almost ready. Okay. Thank you for telling me. All right. We got it. Fake Toastmasters is online. So look at this page, folks. So, okay, show of hands. Is everybody with me so far? Hands. Does anybody have a question? Just speak out loud. Here, I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay. Are you guys with me? Does anybody have a question? Yes? No? Claude, I see you just opened your video, eh? I should call on you. So, okay, so we're all good. So this is just like a very, very simple way to create your first listing.
Actually, we have a question in the chat.
Oh, okay.
It's a good question.
There is no cost, Rosa. You saw me. There is no cost. This is all free. No cost. Merci beaucoup, Danielle. No, this is a free service. So that's what you want. You want something free and amazing. And you want to use this service over and over again because this service is plugging in you directly to the search engine, Google. Okay, so very important. Thank you, Rosa. Very important point. I should have mentioned that. Okay. Screen 2. All right. So everybody with me so far? So, okay. What are we doing with this listing? Now that we have it, what the heck do we do with it? So as you know, you can update all of your info. Okay, so here you see this menu. Do you guys see this menu? I'm bringing it up and down. So this menu is your passport to doing whatever the heck you want to do. So here you could update it. You know, we were saying you could update your category. You can look and update your category and update your business as the main information about the club can be updated here. and you can add all of these things. So the more you add, the more Google believes you exist and the more credibility you have in Google's eyes. Okay. So that's what you need. Why are you adding photos? Because it gives you credibility. Okay. It's important to add. So just like Facebook, you can actually create posts on Google My Business. And what happens is the more you create, the more posts you create. So let's say you created one post for Facebook. Guess what you can do? You can use the same post and add it to Google My Business. So you can add the same post here. So, and it allows you to actually, so let's say if I was going to create a post, come in, I'm just making stuff up, guys. I'm sure your post will be super amazing. Open. And here you have the option of customers or potential members to talk to you directly or to take an action. This is very, very important. Whenever you create a post for anything, for Facebook, for any, you have to keep in mind, what the heck do you want the other person to do with it, right? You just don't want them to look at the post. No, you want engagement with the post. That means you want them to do something with the post. So you want them to click on it. Basically, you're doing this advertising for people to take the action to talk to you and to come to your meeting, right? So you have to ensure that that action is kept in mind when you're creating your post. So remember that, okay? You want people to take action. Relevant marketing has to have some kind of action attached to it that you want your end user to do. Very important. Don't just create posts for the sake of creating posts. People look at it and they forget it. There has to be a call to action, CTA. Very important. So here, I want them to sign up or to learn more. And here I will give them a link. So I want the person to look at my post, and I'm going to give them a link directly to my website. And voila, I will preview this, what it will look like. And then I can publish. So this is one way. This is important to do. This is what keeps you relevant in the Google search engine. So when you create any kind of social media post, your post, as recommended, must be also posted on Google My Business. Okay, this is
could I have a question for you?
Yeah.
If a club is online now and for the foreseeable future, which address would you put when you actually create the listing?
You remember, I told you that listing, what did we do here? That's a good question. It's a good reminder. We said that we do not have a physical address. Remember, in the listing. So if you go into this, we just gave a geographical area. We said we don't have a physical listing for this account. You see, look, okay. So it's a service. It's some kind of a service. It understands. And it understands that we're servicing these areas. Okay. So for all online clubs, this is what we're trying to convey. We do not have a physical location and we are servicing the area. Very important to understand for online clubs.
I believe someone in these areas that actually search on Google might find this awesome Toastmasters club.
Yes.
Since you've defined it in your service areas.
Yes.
even though it's online. There's
Yeah.
no location, physical location.
Yes, exactly. So
It might
here,
be because of the language. Someone in China will not find an English club.
no,
Right.
and you have to understand the nature of Google. So Google search engine understanding is very important here. The understanding is that Google is trying to make local areas relevant, because way back when you guys were all very, when search engines were young, you remember we used to get irrelevant searches, like something, I'm here and it's giving me something, a bakery in, I don't know, England. So what they wanted to do was they wanted to make things relevant for me. So Google wants to make, it's personalizing, tailoring your experience. So as when you look for something, it will first give you search results within your area. So here at the service area, I'm defining, even though I do not have a physical destination, I'm defining the areas where it would be. So yes, it precludes some areas, and yes, I could probably have larger areas. I could probably say Canada, but I will tell you that you will actually be very low on the search engine if you just put generally something like Canada or like a country. Do you understand? You will be listed, it will do that, but it will put other clubs first above you. So you have to be mindful when you choose these areas. So think about the hybrid model here. It's very important to think about that. Sometimes at some point in life, you would want them to come to you physically. If it's going to stay online forever, that's no problem. But you would start with some kind of an area, some kind of a relevance, whatever, geographically. So service areas, you can actually continue to improve and see, but your listing goes down, just to understand that. Insights.
I could have another question, if you will.
Yes.
Benoit asked, the post that you created, where will it appear?
So it appears actually right underneath. So if I had, let's do district 61 Toastmasters. Okay, I'm going to show you the search, what it will look like. So guess what? Guess whose phone number is that? So here, you see District 61 posts that we create. So when I do a search, it is telling me, it's showing me the posts actually come to the person right underneath. So when somebody looks at it, they'll look at your posts here too. And okay, Benoit, is that clear, my dear?
He says, yes, you have 15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Reviews. This is one of the biggest and most important things of your listing. You are going to go back and get everybody in the club, search you once you do a listing. So how will somebody, they will find you by searching your name. So if I have Riverside Toastmasters, I will just do a search on them. So let's say you created a listing for your club. So I will do Riverside. Okay. 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 So you see these reviews, very important. And guess who did these reviews? Club members. Do you see that? You are going to do a review about your club. And you are going to get everybody in the club to review and put a review on here. Everybody. So how does somebody put a review? That's what they do. They Google search you. So they Google search the Toastmasters, and I don't have it here. So does somebody, okay. What's your, Daniel, what's yours? What's the name?
We don't have reviews though. It's
Okay,
Club Toastmaster de Charlebourg.
Okay, Toastmasters. Spell it for me in English, please.
RLESVOURG. Charlebourg.
Okay. Okay. So let's see.
So you can see our profile there.
Okay. So yes, you do have reviews, by the way.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know that.
Okay. So yeah, so you better, all of y'all, if there might be a listing and you might have reviews already. So people need to be mindful of that. But you see, it gives me an option to write a review because I'm not the owner. So if you're an owner of a listing, it will not give you an option to write a review. Just to let you know, you will not find this because it doesn't want you to write really nice things all about yourself, right? Yeah. So if you're going to, somebody else has to write a review. So I'm going to say for Daniel's Club, I'll give it 5 stars and say amazing place to learn. Okay. Okay. So you can see your review, they can see it, and I'm done. So you are going to get everybody to put a review on your listing. Super important. This, if I taught you one thing, it would be to add reviews. This is how users think. They look at you, they already are doing research about you. They will get your name, somebody will tell them, they will Google it, and guess what they need? They will get a recommendation. This is how people will want to come to your club. This is how users think. Understanding this is super important. Okay, so we got reviews. Understanding this, you can only, so if somebody has a review about you, you can only answer that review once you're verified. So you remember when I was talking about verification, the verification is that postcard that you will get in Google, from Google in your mail, and it will have a code on it, and you will come here to verify. So verify to reply. So in order to be verified, I didn't verify this because I don't want a fake Toastmasters thing on here. But once you put in that thing, it will give you an option to be verified. You have to put this code that Google sends you to be verified. And in order for your listing and for you to be able to show that you're listening to your customers, and to say thank you, and you want to answer all the nice reviews too. Remember, it will actually make you more relevant for Google. So if somebody writes a review, good or bad, you must answer that. Very important. How do you know there's a review? In fact, I don't know if Daniel has checked his email or not, you get a notification that you have a review. So if you haven't,
not yet, though. But I suspect I will receive an email. Yes.
Yeah, you should be able to get a notification that you've a review. So, okay, services. So these are all the public speaking. Add a service. I would add pathways. I would add all the things, mentoring. That's the area I would really, what do we do at Toastmasters? And the website. Oh, this is, don't go here. So this is, oh, actually, I should not go here. If you did not have a real website already, Google also wants to sell their other services to actually sell their website, platform, and you could actually build your website on here. So don't do it if I think most clubs have their own website. So if you don't have it, I think then, so free Toast host and all of your URLs. So don't need to click on here. Other than that, okay. The other, how am I doing for time, Daniel?
You would have 5 minutes.
Okay. Last but not least, folks, users. So as Amy was pointing out, I want to add more users from my club who will also receive the same information. I would pick all of the executive and I would add them as users here. So executive of your club, so that if you didn't have a chance to look at it, let somebody else look at it and answer some of the questions. Remember, marketing is a shared exercise. You guys all need to be on the same page, but one person can't do everything alone. So share the responsibility, delegate it, and also make life easy for yourself. So here,
5-minute warning.
okay, thank you, thank you. So let's say I wanted to add, I don't know, Rosa. So I see Rosa here. Rosa's also. So when I add Rosa and I'm going to give her a role, I will say she's a manager of this page as well. And I will send her an invite. And Rosa is now, it has been sent an invite. And if you wanted to delete Rosa, and it says, are you sure you want to revoke? And I say revoke, because she doesn't need to be part of fake Toastmasters. Okay, so this is how you add other people to be able to manage this listing with you. Okay, I'm now stopping, and we have some time to ask one or two, but we were constantly answering questions. You have any other questions? People? Yes, Gina, please.
What can you do if you've figured out what the Gmail password or the Gmail account was that was used to create your club's Google My account in the first place, but you can't find the password?
Okay, well, you do lost password.
On where?
So when you go to that account, so
Just
let's
the
say you
Gmail
tried
account?
logging in. So let's say you created or somebody created that, you will have to hunt them down if somebody else. So let's say it was somebody who's now in Nova Scotia, you better hunt them down. So that's why share if you create it. And so in my executive team for Riverside, we share the password. So we know, and it's just for the club, we share the password amongst us. So we all know. But if you don't know, forgot password is the way to go, Gina. So and that will follow you to the crumbs of doing this.
Someone asks if the website is free.
No, the website service for Google is not free, my dear. So you better have your own free Toast host or some other website, or if your club is willing to pay for it, then. So the website service on the Google My Business listing, which I showed you here just quickly, is not free. This is the thing I'm saying is not free, okay? Understand what I'm saying here. So you guys can see my mouse. When this website service is for new websites only. So do not need to look at it, don't need to click it. If most clubs already have their website, your URL is actually, your information is in the info. So you will actually add your own URL here. Where's the buddy? Here, can you see? Can anybody see? So your hours.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, right here. Okay. So that's free because whoever's doing that is, so you're already using the stuff that you have here. The web, this thing is not, it's not free. This thing is trying to sell you a website. Anybody else? Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you very much for listening to me. It was an interactive workshop. If you have any questions, ask Daniel. He knows this stuff inside out. Daniel can put his own email and his team's email. They are experts. I taught them well. So have yourselves a fantastic rest of the stuff. So if you have any other questions, just, I hope it. Yay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Izza.
Okay, thanks a lot, Izza. It's an eye opener for me, that's for sure. And gives us another tool to use in supporting our clubs. Thank you so much. And let's take a 10-minute break. We'll come back at 11 a.m. for our final presentation today. And get a coffee, have a good stretch, walk around, and we'll all meet back at 11 a.m. We'll see you all soon.